Good morning. It is the Big Joe and Laura Show on Mix 95.7 Grand Rapids Best Mix. You've made it to Tuesday, May the 21st, 2024. And Laura, after quite the trip, but I know we're going to talk about it later, you have made it back home. Welcome.
Oh, my God. I never thought I'd make it back. I think I went through some of the worst travel nonsense and delays that I've ever been in my life. So good morning to everyone except for Frontier Airlines. I will never recommend flying them, and I hope they go out of business.
I don't think anybody needed that recommendation.
No, and it was all just, it was literally like a $300 difference between flying like Delta and Frontier, and we flew out of Chicago. Again, I'm sorry if you're one of the 5 people that works at Frontier here or whatever. I'm sure this is not your fault, but I've never dealt with such incompetence and such nonsense insanity. We're going to talk about it coming up at 8:25. I had problems on both flights on the way there and on the way back, including a 6 to 7 hour layover on a direct flight. Joe. I wasn't supposed to be laid over in the place I was leaving from. But you know what? It happened.
It might have been worth it just to take your new car and drive down there and back.
Oh, listen, the drive to and from Chicago was pretty fantastic, and it was nice. Like, getting there was fine, and leaving was fine, but it was just the long hours in the airport. And, I would love to hear your travel nightmare stories, especially if it has to do with flying. Maybe it'll make me feel a little bit better about my experience. You can DM us in the Mix 95.7 app or give us a call at any point at 616-600-0957. But what did you do while it was gone? How was your day and yesterday?
Everything was good. Yesterday was just kind of a real chill day. Got some yard work done just before it started storming like crazy last night. I love. I don't like power being out. I know some people still are without power this morning, but I love thunderstorms and I love the lightning and the rain and everything. And so kind of enjoyed that last night, and then just getting ready for more of it today. We're looking at possibly sunny and warm throughout the day, a little humid. And then later tonight, they're saying like 9 o'clock or so. That's when we could have some really strong winds, maybe some hail. And there is a possibility of tornado. I hate that. I don't like severe weather either way. We had enough of that down there in Portage and Kalamazoo, that entire area.
Yeah.
But it's even worse when it's at night.
Oh, yeah, because you're not expecting it, and my baby's trying to go to sleep at that point. So let me tell you, Storm, if you wake up tiny baby Justin, I'm going to go outside and throw hands at this point, because it's been one of those weeks.
All right, well, you've been warned, so watch out, Mother Nature. Let's get this Tuesday show started. We are Big Joe and Laura here on Mix 95.7.
It's time for Big Joe and Laura's Need to Know News on Mix 95.7.
Well, last night, the Grand Rapids Griffins played Game 2 of the playoff series against the Milwaukee Admirals, and it was not pretty at all. They lost 5-2 to the Admirals, tying the series at 1 game apiece. The Griffins will host the next 2 games at the Van Andel Arena this week. Game 3 happening on Wednesday, and Game 4 on Friday night.
Oh, I hope they turn it around, because we are so close, you can almost taste it. All right, so as you've probably noticed by the weather, summer is basically here, and if your kiddo's out there riding their bike, scooter, or skateboard without a helmet, there's a group that wants to fix that for free. The 9th annual Lids for Kids event is happening on Saturday, June 1st, and you can join them over at Garfield Park in Grand Rapids from 10 to 2 to get your kid fitted for the right helmet to protect them entirely free. And they're also going to have a chance to register to win a new bike. So you get a new helmet and a new bike. Kind of seems like a double win to me.
It's funny, as a kid, I never wanted to wear a helmet. Now as an adult, I'm like, can I also get some knee pads and elbow pads and wrist guards?
Listen, the last time I rode my skateboard without a helmet a few years ago, I ended up hitting a rock and falling face first into the ground. So I don't recommend it. Please wear your helmet. Be safe. We want you around every single day, and that helmet helps with that.
And for your final Need to Know news story, we're heading to the Hudson River in New Jersey, where a man who was passing by jumped into action. He actually hopped into the water and helped save a dog that was getting pulled away by the current.
If you could just swim behind him and scare him maybe towards us. Come here. Yeah, you're coming now.
Wow, it's not even his dog?
Yeah, I guess he just was going on by and he saw that. I don't think anybody would do that if my dogs Benny and Patty were in the water.
They'd be like, oh, good riddance and Godspeed.
That is Big Joe and Laura's Need to Know News on Mix 95.7. If you're just joining the Big Joe and Laura show on Mix 95.7, you missed something juicy. Let's catch you up real quick. We have our friend Kat on the phone. We're going to continue talking to her in a second, but she was telling us that she was dog sitting in Florida where she lives for this guy. They agreed on $400 as payment while she watched the dog for the week. Well, when he got back, apparently Kat forgot to leave the guy's key at his place, so his roommate was gone. He was locked out. Instead of calling the apartment security or somebody that might have been able to let him in, he ended up calling calling a locksmith, and he says that the cost for the locksmith was the exact same amount that he was going to pay her. Kat, thanks for hanging on. Tell us the rest of the story. You're saying that he sent you a message. What did it say?
He writes me, "Hey, Kat, still waiting on the reimbursement for the building of $400 for you not leaving the keys. Once I get that, I'll send you the money. A friend of mine just called and said you are blowing me up online, and that's fine. I offered to pay you in advance, and you chose to wait. Then you didn't leave the keys, requiring me to hire a locksmith at 3 a.m. I haven't seen any posts, as I don't go on it very often, but genuinely, I thought you'd be a bit more understanding due to the inconvenience you had caused not following simple instructions. You will get your money, and we will never be touch again."
No,
know.
no, absolutely not. This man is too stupid to have a spare key, which he should have given you a spare key, not his key. Like, anyone with brain cells knows better than that. And then he wants to be like, you should have taken the money up front. No, but then he would have been trying to charge you $400 for the locksmith. So either way, this would have been a wash. This guy is a complete D-bag.
I don't know. Does this guy have a point, maybe? I mean, is
No.
Kat in the wrong here?
No.
616-600-0957. That's 616-600-0957. I'm curious to hear if you've had a situation similar to Kat and somebody stiffed you. Did you get your money back? How did you do that? Or also, like, are you on her side, or this sounds like kind of a D-bag side too?
It's hilarious that he wrote, "As I don't go on social media often." Well, dude, of course you couldn't see it. You blocked me.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, you're not on social media often because you've blocked me off of yours, sir. What a jerk. I'm so
that's
sorry. I
why-
hope you eventually get paid, but either way, at least you got the karma of blasting him. It's almost worth the money at that point.
Oh, my boyfriend was like, "Let's go slash his tires." And I was like, that's a crime. I would rather just, like, socially embarrass him. And I know I have, like, a large, like, Instagram following of at least 10,000 followers, and majority of them are South Florida local. So I have an army of people that love me being born and raised down here. So he got what he deserved.
Kat, thanks for coming on the show this morning. We'd love to hear an update. Hopefully you actually get your money back. But 616-600-0957. What do you think? Does our friend Kat have a point here? Or because she didn't leave the key for the guy and he had to call a locksmith, does she kind of, lose that money she was owed? 616-600-0957. That is 616-600-0957. It's the Big Joe and Laura Show on Mix 95.7. If you're just joining us, we were talking about a friend of ours that's a dog sitter down in Florida, and she agreed to watch this guy's dog for $400 for the week. Everything, as far as we've heard, went really well, but the problem is this. When he came back, he was supposed to have the key left at his apartment, but she accidentally forgot to do that, so he was locked out and called a locksmith, which cost $400, at least according to him, which was the price they agreed on for her to watch the dog for the week. Does he owe her the money now, or is it kind of like, hey, it's your fault, we're gonna have to just call it even? 616-600-0957. Danielle in Granville, what do you think?
My opinion is that he should pay her. There's a caveat. If they talked about her leaving the key somewhere, maybe they could work out a discount of, a portion, but I don't see any reason why he shouldn't pay her for the services rendered. It's his roommate wasn't there and he assumed his roommate was going to be there. That's not her fault either.
Yeah, I mean, sure, if she messed up and didn't, leave the key, okay, you messed up, that's an inconvenience. But also another point that Laura brought up is the fact of, well, usually there are security or people you can call if you get locked out. Did he really have to call a locksmith and spend $300-$400 that he claims?
Absolutely. And my other idea was even call the dog sitter in the middle of the night. It's an inconvenience to both of them, but I believe the dog sitter would probably appreciate not losing out on the money that for the work she did by her waking up in the middle of the night to let him in.
Oh, for sure. I know I wouldn't mind being woken up for that. It's Big Joe's Little Wins on Mix 95.7, Grand Rapids Best Mix. We want to highlight you and all the good stuff that's happening in your life. You can share your little wins with us anytime at 616-600-0957. We'll get to Sharon in Grand Rapids in just 1 second. But Laura, I would love to know, do you got a little win to share?
Yeah, I have a mild win. I learned a recipe that not even I can mess up this weekend.
All right, now this is coming from the lady that, cooked the chicken for her husband Rare. So what did you learn?
Okay, so I was tailgating tailgating with the Kenny Chesney fans in Atlanta with my husband doing TikTok stuff. And this woman's like, oh, my pineapple recipe is amazing. All she did was cut up a pineapple into a bunch of little chunks and then just soak it in Malibu rum all night long. And that's it. That's the whole recipe. And I know I could do this without any problems. It tasted amazing, gave you a little bit of a buzz, and we kept going on our way. And honestly, I think this is the kind of recipes I need to be sticking to.
Laura's like, I got my fruit intake for the day.
Yep, and a little bit of liquids too. I'm hydrated and ready to go.
As much as I want to have that, I'm also trying to like lose weight and make healthier choices, so I can't really take advantage of that. At least I'd be a naughty boy. But my little win is that I had my weigh-in. I go every week to age management of West Michigan, and the week before, I fell off hard, man. Food is my thing. When I'm having a bad day, you'll see me at Taco Bell or somewhere I should not be. Well, I went and weighed in. I stuck to the plan last week, and I was down 11 pounds.
Way to go!
Thank you. So I am feeling good. Still tired, but that's just working early morning radio. But other than that, that's my little win. What is yours? 616-600-0957. Sharon in Grand Rapids, what is your little win?
You know what? I don't normally say things like this, but yesterday I helped an elderly man with a walker get a meal at Burger King when they wouldn't even comp him a meal.
Aww.
The man was not asking for cash, he just wanted food. As long as I'm sucking air, nobody's going hungry, okay?
Amen, Sharon. That's the way you should be. So we'll celebrate you today as a little win, because to be honest, like, there's so many times in life it's easy to just not do anything. It's not that you're not helping, but you're also just not doing anything. And you actually took that little extra step and spent that $5-10, and I'm sure you made that man's day.
You know what made me feel really good was that he was comfortable asking me.
Oh, that shows that you have a kind heart and he can see it.
Sharon, I just think it's time for you to let your light shine. How do you feel about getting me breakfast this morning?
Oh, stop it. Don't you get him breakfast. He is capable.
I got free Grubhub for a year. What do you want?
Sharon, that's why we love you so much. Thanks for being part of Big Joe's Little Wins.
We love you, Sharon.
Call us right now at 616-600-0957. That's 616-600-0957 and share your little win with us. It is the Big Joe and Laura show here on Mix 95.7, Grand Rapids Best Mix.
And I want to know, were we the jerks of the situation, or did we do the right thing? You can give us a call at 616-600-0957 or send us a DM or voice memo in the Mix 95.7 app. Over the weekend, my husband and I were in a new city and traveling, and we decided we wanted to get brunch because, to be honest, we got up late because we had a late flight. We just had a lot of stuff going on. So it's about 11 o'clock. We still want breakfast, but we know our odds are not great. So we start looking for brunch places. Well, we find a place, we type it into Uber, we get a ride out there, and we go inside, and we realize they just opened at 11 a.m. And I was like, I mean, it's weird, but I guess you can have brunch stuff at 11 a.m., so I don't think anything of it. We sit down. She asks us what we want to drink. My husband orders coffee. I get a water. And then we start to look at the menu, and we realize this restaurant absolutely does not have brunch options at all whatsoever. I don't know why it popped up. Apparently, they only serve brunch on Sundays, and it was Saturday.
Oh, okay. So
long story short, we get there. We're like, there is not a single thing on this menu that we want at all, period. So we kind of noticed that the waitress that we had was starting to make the coffee, but had not started yet. So my husband runs over there, and he's like, hey, never mind. Don't even worry about it. I don't want you to make this coffee. We're bailing. We're out. We're going to go find breakfast somewhere else. And so we left. My husband thought nothing of this. I felt terrible for the next 20 minutes for leaving before nothing came out. We didn't touch any waters. Nothing hit our table. But I felt like such a jerk for leaving after taking a table and being sat and placing part of an order. Am I wrong? Is he wrong? What do you feel about this, Joe?
As much as I love to see you in discomfort and just awkward agony, no, you did nothing wrong. Your husband James is right. Even if you guys would have ordered a coffee and something to drink, yeah, you know what? You're like, you know what? We're not feeling this. I guess it's all in the approach of how you say it. But if they don't have what you want, you're a paying customer. That whole thing is not going to be a good transaction for anybody because you don't want what they have. So yeah, it was nice that he actually stopped her before she poured the coffee. But even then, if they did say, hey, you know what? Blah blah blah, whatever. You could be the truthful person or the liar. That's what I would do. I'm like, oh, my dog ran away. I gotta go.
Oh, so you use an excuse excuse to be like, something terrible's happened. I must leave immediately.
I mean, you could. I don't know if I would do it there. I've done that several times before too. I've also done it too. Like, I understand. I could never work in the food industry because people treat you like crap. The pay's not good, and I mean, the list goes on and on. But I've been in places where I waited like 5 or 10 minutes. I'm like, hey, you know what? We're gonna head out. Thanks. So, and we might already got our water or drinks, but I'm like, I can't have a service like this. I got places to go, things to do.
So, like, do you pay for the drinks in that scenario?
Well, you have to. Yeah. Like water's no.
Yeah, sure. No, you wouldn't pay for those anyway.
No, but you get like a pop or anything else. Yeah. Like, you got to pay for that and go. You just like, hey, I got to go.
Okay, because I honestly...
I can't believe you feel like you're a jerk.
I do, and I honestly, like, I've been in charge of the situation, I would have sat there and I would have ate something I didn't want because I wouldn't have wanted to look the waitress in the face and been like, hey, I'm sorry. So I would have just shoved, like, fried chicken I didn't want yet or that early in the day down my throat just to not... and maybe this is the people pleaser in me in general that I'm just like, I don't want to hurt your feelings. I don't want you to think you did something wrong. I just want eggs and bacon and other things and not fried chicken and barbecue, which is what they were offering.
What do you think? Maybe you work in the service industry and you actually have a better perspective than we do, and you're like, oh my gosh, Laura, how dare you talk about this on the radio? Shame! Shame. Or maybe you could give her some comfort because, like I said, as much as I love to see you squirm around, I don't want you to feel bad about that. You and your husband did the right thing. Okay,
good. Well, I just want to know, are we jerks or should we have stayed? 616-600-0957 or send us a DM at the Mix 95.7 app.
It's time for Big Joe and Laura's Need to Know News on Mix 95.7.
Cottage Bar and Restaurant is closed temporarily in downtown Grand Rapids because of a dispute between employees and the owner. It's not totally clear exactly what's going on, but Laura, employees are saying, hey, we were fired. But the owner says, well, the staff won't return to work. Either way, the owner said they intend to reopen after hiring new workers.
Yeah, I have a feeling that the workers aren't the problem here. I will pass on that. Thank you. If you haven't had a chance to see the Lantern Festival, the John Ball Zoo is actually adding some new dates before it wraps up in June. There are only a few weeks left, but starting tonight, the zoo is expanding the festival to include Tuesday nights. So if Tuesday night works good for you, you'll probably see less crowds. It's a good time to go. Tickets are available Tuesdays through Sundays until June 16th when the festival ends. Make sure you pick yours up before you go because more than likely it's going to sell out most nights between now and then.
And for your final Need to Know news story, we're heading to TikTok where a daughter posted this sweet interaction she caught of her parents on her Ring camera. They've been married for almost 60 years.
We were supposed to have a family like we have. I'm not kidding you.
It's a good genes.
I remember asking you to marry me, and I was so happy you did. I tell you, we've done a lot together now, but it's slowing down.
Oh my gosh, that is such a sweet little old man.
Aww.
I love stuff like that. That's Big Joe and Laura's Need to Know News on Mix 95.7.
It's time to play Laura Can't Lose on Mix 95.7. Here's how it happens. You'll have 1 minute to answer 5 questions. You can pass if you need to, and we'll come back if time allows. A tie goes to Laura because, well, her name's on the show. Here's who's playing Laura Can't Lose today.
Representing the fine city of Grand Rapids, Michigan, say hello to Tina.
Good morning, Tina. How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Hey, can't complain. I mean, I've taken a few L's this week, but I'm trying my best to turn it around. And that means you've got a fresh $25 Michigan Lottery jackpot you could hopefully take away from me.
All right. Hopefully.
All right. Well, let's get this game going, Tina. Kick Laura out of the studio.
All right. See you later, girl.
Adios, my friend.
Okay, the door's closed and the question will begin. Number 1, what is the name of Britney Spears' younger sister?
Oh, gosh. What is that? Okay, I'm going to have to pass for a second.
Question 2, what's the response to see you later, alligator?
In a while, crocodile.
Question 3, which reality TV show features aspiring fashion designers competing for a chance to launch their own clothing line?
Oh, goodness. Don't know that one.
Question number 4, what do caterpillars turn into?
Butterflies.
Question 5, this American place was attacked on December 7th, 1941.
Pearl Harbor.
Question 1 again. What is the name of Britney Spears' younger sister?
Jamie Lynn.
Question 3 again. Which reality TV show features aspiring fashion designers competing for the chance to launch their own clothing line?
Oh, I do not know that one.
Okay, I'm going to bring Laura in.
Laura! La, 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 Laura!
So, Tina in Grand Rapids, what do you do for a living? Or tell us about yourself.
I am a third grade teacher.
Oh, so she's going to beat me because she knows all the rules. You have the answer key. I know it, Tina.
I don't know about it today. We'll see.
Yeah, let's see. We might be sticking in third grade for a while on this. Laura, you actually have a chance to beat Tina. She got 4 right, so you get 4, you tie. 5, you could win it.
Ooh, okay, so a little pressure on there. I like it. Let's go.
Question number 1. What is the name of Britney Spears' younger sister?
Jamie Lynn.
Correct. 1-1. Question 2. What's the response to "See you later, alligator"?
After a while, crocodile.
I'm going to accept that I was really looking for "in a while, crocodile."
Oh, well, it's supposed to be after. Well, I guess it depends on what part of the country you're from, clearly.
Yeah,
It's-
Kentucky, they say it differently. That's
yeah,
correct.
We're a little different down there, sorry.
It's okay. 2-2. Going into question 3. What reality TV show features aspiring fashion designers competing for the chance to launch their own clothing line?
America's Next Top Model?
Incorrect. You both got that wrong. Project Runway.
Oh, I forgot that show even existed, to be fully
Oh,
honest.
yeah.
Well, good, Tina. I'm glad we watched the same TV, clearly, which is not that.
And I love reality TV, but I did not know that one.
I'm disappointed in you fashionistas.
Yeah, you should see how I dress. You know I'm not a fashionista.
Tie game. 2-2 going into question 4. What do caterpillars turn into?
Butterflies.
That is correct. 3-3, tie game going into the final question. This American place was attacked on December 7th, 1941.
That would be Pearl Harbor.
Not celebrating it, but that is correct, which means we have a 4-4 tie. Tina, would you like to come back and play tomorrow?
I would love to.
It is Big Joe and Laura and you here on Mix 95.7. Be part of the show anytime. Call us 616-600-0957.
Yeah, I went on 2 flights this weekend. I made the terrible, awful mistake of booking a flight with Frontier this weekend.
Was Spirit not available?
God, I mean, I wasn't expecting these things to happen. Now, on the first flight, on the way to Georgia, everything went pretty smoothly. We were like an hour late leaving, which you expect with those airlines because they've never once been on time in their entire existence.
But that's even frustrating in itself. You could miss a connection flight.
Yeah, thankfully we were flying direct, so it wasn't a big deal. But about halfway through, the flight attendant was like, hey, if you don't stop vaping, I'm going to call the cops. She went over the big speaker, says this, and then like nothing happens. Everybody's quiet. And then at the end of the flight, we land. We get starting to taxi up to the terminal, all of that stuff. And then she's like, all right, well, we're all going to have to wait on the plane because the authorities are waiting at the gate because somebody wouldn't stop vaping. And they legitimately got this guy, pulled him off the plane, gave him to the police, all this stuff, all over a vape. Listen, I know you're not supposed to do it, but I was like, come on, A, why are you this dumb? And B, they warned you and you still did it again? How stupid are you? So yeah, that one was bad. It was annoying. It wasn't as bad as the trip back though. So we get to the airline. We almost miss our flight because James read the app wrong and we thought we had a delay. And so we went through TSA twice. Not fun. Don't recommend it. So we're already frustrated by the time we get to the gate. Then they're like, hey, we're all getting on the plane. Everything's good to go. The flight's maybe 5-10 minutes late. We get on the plane. They sat us on the plane for almost 2 hours without moving. We didn't leave the terminal. They took the little gate away and closed the doors, but we weren't going anywhere. And it was all because of a maintenance issue. There was some sort of paperwork issue where basically like someone didn't sign something right. So they had to like pass things through a window and blah, blah, blah. And this took so long that a woman on the flight had a panic attack causing a medical emergency, which made us all have to deplane while they figured out A, the paperwork, B, this woman who's hyperventilating into a bag behind us because she's trapped on the plane. And then they sat us out in the lobby, which had no seats left because the next flight was there, plus another flight across the way. And they're like, we can't tell you when the flight's going to leave, so don't go very far away, but also don't stand here. And so finally, 6.5 hours later, we're on our way. I mean, I was supposed to be back in Grand Rapids by the time we landed in Chicago. I didn't get to Michigan until midnight. I didn't get home till the next day because I couldn't drive any further. So surely I'm not the only one who's had one of these traumatizing traumatizing airport or plane experiences. Would love to hear yours. 616-600-0957. Joe, has anything like this ever happened to you, or am I a magnet of bad luck in this scenario?
I think you're definitely a magnet of bad luck. Only thing I can think of recent was not in the air, but on the ground. Lindsay and I were heading to Evansville, Indiana for a friend's wedding. It's like 7 hours south of GR. And along the way, we're heading down. I see, wow, that minivan is like slamming their brakes on and pulling over. I wonder if they had a flat tire. Nope. This dude jumps out from the passenger side, pops a squat. You could see his butt cheeks. They were bright white. And I guess he had to go to the bathroom like an emergency, but he popped a squat and went right on the side of the highway.
Oh, no.
I think we've all been there where it's like, I gotta make it. Well, this guy couldn't. What is the craziest thing you've seen while traveling, whether it's by air, by sea, by land? We want to know. 616-600-0957. It is the Big Joe and Laura show on Mix 95.7, Grand Rapids Best Mix. You know what? We're lucky just to have Laura in studio today after her travel nightmare she had the other day.
Yeah, I missed work yesterday. Did not mean to, but sometimes things happen, all because of a crazy travel nightmare. On the way to my destination, we had a guy get arrested for vaping. On the way back, basically some paperwork caused us to have a 6-hour delay. Also impacted by a woman who had a panic attack because we were stuck on the plane so long. And I swear this is Frontier energy, but Kim actually DM'd us in the Mix 95.7 app and says this is not a normal experience with Frontier. I want to know what kind of luck Kim has because she is the first person I've ever heard have a positive experience with this airline.
Did you check maybe her profile? She works there.
Well, if she did, she almost convinced me that it was believable. But we want to hear from you. What was your travel nightmare? You can give us a call, 616-600-0957, or you can send us a DM in the Mix 95.7 app like Charlotte in Grand Rapids, who said, when I was a teenager, I sat in an aisle seat. The guy in the opposite aisle seat right next to me was legit barfing into an entire garbage bag the entire flight.
I got to imagine barf smells even worse at 30,000 feet in the air.
I've been there in that scenario where someone did near me, not nearly that close. And yeah, it's the worst because all that air is just circulating in the plane. And if you're one of those people like me that if you just smell it, you get a little nauseous, not a great combination.
No, I could totally see that one.
Katie in Grand Rapids, what was your travel nightmare?
So we were flying on a class trip and back in the late 90s and flying Houston to Mexico City. And there was some commotion on the plane and there was like a guy that was trying to open the emergency exit.
Oh, no.
And the kicker part was it was American Airlines, which I still fly to this day, but they did not have anybody that spoke Spanish, the flight attendants. So our Spanish teacher and her husband were helping translate with the situation. And when we arrived in Mexico City, the authorities were there, but the guy was just let go and off he went.
So, I mean, since you got firsthand information on the translating, was he just confused or just absolutely like unhinged?
I will say this is a bunch of high school kids, so they were far enough ahead, so I didn't hear what was going on, but just something he just wanted to get off the plane. That was not the way to get off the plane.
No, that is not the appropriate time. It will not end well, sir.
Katie, I'm surprised you ever got on a plane again after that.
No kidding.
I was fine for a very long time after that, but now I don't like flying that much anymore.
Julie in Holland, what was the crazy thing you saw while traveling?
We had 8 of us in St. Thomas. We were leaving that day and the plane kept getting delayed. So all of us kept getting text messages that the plane was being delayed another half hour, an hour. When we finally got to the airport, because the flight was supposed to leave at 11 o'clock at night, we got to the airport at 7 and the airport closed. They shut down TSA at 6. So we're all standing there like, are we being punked?
Oh,
the
no.
hole where you check in was all dark. And we're like, we've got a flight. And they're like, well, you should have been here. And we're like,
what?
You sent us text messages every half hour. Flight's delayed, flight's delayed, flight's delayed. Well, we should have gone.
Julie, what ended up happening then?
They basically just said to us, well, you're going to be on a wait list and we'll get you out by Thursday. And that was Saturday.
Oh my gosh. So what did you do when you had all that time?
So all 8 of us had to go back on Sunday to wait in the airport for standby. We got 2 people out on Sunday. We got 2 people out on Monday. We got 2 people out on Tuesday. We had to go back to the condo that we had rented, and it was a disaster. I didn't know an airport could close.
Yeah, I didn't either, and I can't believe that they couldn't accommodate you on top of it. So, like, you're playing who gets to go next and slowly losing parts of your party. Who decided? Did you draw straws to see who got to go home first, or was it based on need?
Well, we had to be strategic about it because one of our cars was in Detroit. One of our cars was in Chicago. One of our kids had to go back to Chicago. So we just had to be strategic about like who was going where and who was going to be able to come back and pick someone up later. That was the biggest nightmare ever.